stepping on the scene like I never did reply. I ain't gotta justify, I'm cool. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party, one o'clock of time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out.
It's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Lance going to put it up right away. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. How about the defense there trying to set the tone of the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing the tone for this one.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is starting long. Beckham goes in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Time to get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that tough rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Returnable for Grant. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
No timeout.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's got a man complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
That last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
The Browns at 1. Set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting up.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Davante Adams. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now in a quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And now they'll throw with Lance. It's caught inside the 25. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Eric Ebron. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point put through by Boswell. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Watson. Swings this out for Hunt. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A nice gain of 21 yards.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards.
The tackle made at the 47-yard line. Brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 now. Watson trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Seven, our score after 1. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 54 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up. But once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
On the double.
Lance and company going on 4th down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. Now Lance. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get him into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he's going to go down. He sank back at the 24. Jadeveon Clowney in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. And this one a 41-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
I have to believe that if you're the team trying to block a field goal, you don't mind this weather. All right, the rain probably is going to help you because so many things can go wrong for the guys trying to kick the ball. It's as simple as maybe you just lose your footing. You kind of spin out like a tire in the snow, not get traction, and you create a space and someone comes through.
And I think, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked up by Micah Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown.
Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And
now Watson throws another interception. Levi Wallace with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown.
Well, it's one thing to get the interception, and it was a great play, but then you saw how quickly all of his teammates, Charles, turned to find blocks, made sure they had space for him to make the house call.
And not only did they turn and find the blocks, none of them clipped from behind, blocked someone in the back. This play is going to stand. And how about what we see each and every week now? When the defenders make a big play, there's always a group celebration after the takeaway.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
From the gun, it's Lance. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On second and 10, Lance. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a third and 10.
Here's Lance. Setting up the screen, Harris.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the
13. Calling a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Oh, good return up past the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the 3rd quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. Watson to Njoku there for the Cleveland first.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
They lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Watson. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. That's big Cameron Hayward adding another sack to his career total.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Myles Jack. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team is struggling to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Here we go, set.
Off of play action, here's Lance. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Odell Beckham, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And now it's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Faking the give. Now Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They fake the handoff. Now Lance. This to the outside. It's Sermon. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And they run with Harris off the option. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. His defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Hey, computer.
They run for it with Harris. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now a play fake. Lance. And he finds his target, Ebron. And he will finally be shoved out of bounds down at the 30-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 43 yards.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
Check smash.
Harris running straight ahead. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. Only a yard in the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Run blitz there.
We'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Lance to throw for it on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's Larry Ogunjobi powering through to end that play before it could get started. On 2nd and 12, Watson. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Boswell for the extra point. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now.
Makes the score Steelers 36, Browns 7.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Chubb. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on.
Yeah. Turn me up. Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line. Do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. You ain't made it till you got stylers go out and shop for you. You ain't made it till they put on top of you. Parading through the city, the whole block come out for you. We just getting started. Y'all finna see what we bout to do. Boy, stop. Real blue, strips on them still new.